And put up a quick video on the rapture dreams. I just put up a video about if it happens in September, are you spiritually ready? In 2020, nothing was going on like it is now in 2020, and it was a big watch time then. And nothing happened in 2020 because we wasn't where we need to be like we are now. And a lot of people would say that, let me pause this because I want to show you something about September and October in regards to Three-Eye Atlas, which I did look up and showed you guys that it means God or an active God. The Revelation 12 sign seen in 2017, Jesus showed up, but they called it Maui Maui, or however you want to pronounce that. Just sounds Samoan to me. So when I looked that name up, I heard from the Lord to look it up, that meant Yahshua. And for whatever reason, I'm stuck on the dream that God gave Pharaoh: 7 years of plenty, 7 years of dearth. The 7 healthy cattle, the 7 sick cattle, the 7 healthy corns, the 7 sick corn. You must pull the good out of the land before the time of dearth comes, because the righteous, the healthy, cannot be known in the land during the time of dearth unless it dies also. But Pharaoh couldn't figure that dream out, so he went and got Joseph to interpret the dream. So God is always giving signs and wonders. But where the mystery is the timeline, because God's timeline, he ain't on our timeline. Ours is much different from his, okay? Ecclesiastes chapter 5, what 3 and 15? His time is different. But there's something that we need to discuss. Three-Eye Atlas is right over here. Now I'm gonna get my little drawer thing and thingamajig out, okay? And so this is Three-Eye Atlas right there, right? This is December. I pray that we're not here during that time, because I really feel like all of this is coming to a head. Now, let me rewind this a little bit, and let's go back to, now remember October 10th in 2020, okay? Little Catherine said there would be a big disaster. Now, we was looking at, I'm gonna say this again, we were looking at October 10th as that particular year. But we know that God gives dreams, but there's never any indication of when this dream. We do know he's telling us the future's coming, to be ready and be prepared. Okay. Now, if you look at the alignment, Earth is the little blue dot, Mercury is that little white dot, and Three-Eye Atlas, which they are more and more every day, are saying that this is not a comet. There's technology involved with this. Now the naysayers, oh, that's blue beam. Boy, I like to continue to say that this is the days of Noah, as the words say. How do you know? Instead of being so negative and pessimistic, let's just be optimistic, okay? We know what's coming up in September. Nothing but bad things are coming up in September. Palestine, I'm gonna say it one more again. They will be made a nation state. That is going to bring the wrath of God. Because he said, don't split my land up, and don't split my people up. But because Gaza is being mollywopped by Israel constantly, the UN wants to bring in Ishmael as a nation state. And they're going to give them power within the borders of the Holy Land up against Isaac, Ishmael. Both will be empowered. It's going to civil war infraction in the street like never before. But that's what it looks like on October the 10th, okay? So let's go to, let's back this thing up to September 23rd. Let's go to 23, because the Lord has been blessing the babies with rapture dreams. And a lot of people are saying September 23rd is the day. Now, I like to say that we're in an hour between September 23rd and October the 10th. Okay, so let's look at that. 7 days later would be September 30th. 7 days later after that would be what? That's 2 weeks. So September 23rd to October 10th is 2 weeks. Can you dig it? 1 week, you get to September 30th. Okay, and then how many does September have 31 days? I think it does. If it does or it doesn't, that would take us right up to October the 8th. October, and then when you get to October the 8th, I looked at where 3i on this map you're looking at, you had Mercury, and then there is the Earth. Perfect alignment. But on September 23rd, but that alignment can still be there on October 10th. If it's a big disaster on October 10th, as God gave little Rapture a vision, it wasn't a part of her rapture dream. Now we were thinking, oh, October 10th. But a lot of things happen on October 10th every year that I've been looking, but it was local disasters. My interpretation of God telling little Catherine that October 10th would be a big disaster is going to be a global big disaster, which would sound like harpazo to me, or multiple eruptions and volcanoes, crust displacement, which is happening right now, or war after we leave. Okay, this is September 23. Okay, that's Mars 3i Atlas, which means act of God or God himself. Look at where the Earth is, nothing in between, stopping that evacuation. The reason why I'm on this, folks, is because little Catherine said in 2020, her dream has been pulled off of YouTube. Those of us that did overview it and voiceover it like I did, and many of us did, that when we were taken, little Catherine said we were going into outer, I'm going to continue to repeat this, she said we were going into outer space, and that the enemy and his angels were trying to stop it. And she said we beat them back with the words of the Bible. They got down every time we said a word. That's what she said. She said, what happened? Just they got down every time we say a word. That's what she said. But she never finished. From that point, she said she saw us being taken off the earth and we were going into outer space. The enemy came to fight us for a minute, but we beat him back. But then her vision went back down towards the earth and how things were looking down here catastrophically. So why cannot this be the ark? If we're in the days of Noah, and we're not being pessimistic like a lot of y'all are, oh, that's whatever. Optimism. Why is this thing gaining so much attention from the scientific community and they scared to death of it? But it has God's name on it. And in 2017, the Revelation 12 sign that people blew up about online, that was Jesus that showed up, because the name of that one was called Yeshua, and it was smaller. And it also had the same movement, the same exact movements that they say. If this thing hovers, they say, oh, it could park. Oh, we think it's nuclear powered. It doesn't have a tail. It's emitting its own light source, and it's bright. NASA, which is Satan, calls it. And listen, I'm telling you, folks, the people who are linked with, who are even with these Harvard professors, oh, it's aliens. That would be a perfect setup, wouldn't it? Because they're going to blame it on body snatching from the aliens. And why not? You got this thing coming. And it's being projected. Think about it, y'all. It's being projected all over the world that it is an alien spacecraft and they're coming down here to dominate. So if the harpazo happens within the same window, you've already been manipulated into believing that it's 3i Atlas, that it came and sucked people off to earth. This is this is September 23rd. That's where the position would be. Feast of Trumpets, right? If that's the ark, and I'm telling you, I've done the name search. It says God, Elah, or Elah, or Elah, okay? That's what it means, three-eye atlas. That's the position on September 23rd, okay? That little, they're trying to make it look like a comet, but it's not. And that's Earth. That's where it's at. Right before it crosses Mars, it will have a clear shot of Earth on the 23rd of September. Okay? Little Catherine said, we were pulled into outer space once we were raptured up. And she said she saw God. And he looked big. And he was bright. And she could see his face smiling. But she couldn't see his face. But she could tell that he was smiling. This thing, they say, is big. Out of the mouth of babes come the truth. Little Catherine, God bless her soul if she's still alive, she named it God. She didn't say it was three-eye atlas at the time, but she said when we were being pulled outer space, she saw God and he was huge and he was big. They said three-eye atlas is big. It's 7 miles. They said they never seen nothing like it. It's older than the sun. This is where it's going to be on Feast of Trumpets, September 23rd. It's going to be right. I mean, I'm not saying what's going to happen, but I do believe this is our year. Okay, let's move forward. I want to show you where it's going to be in October. Okay, October 3rd. Okay, let me see if I can keep this in frame. And let's move. Okay, you're past Mars, October 5th. Okay, October 9th. Look, October 10th, little Catherine said God told her it was going to be a big disaster. That's Mercury. Before you start running your crazy mouth about, oh, that's astronomy, that's astrology, and you getting mixed up, Genesis 1 and 14, God told us to use these things as for signs, first of all, for seasons, for times. He said, use the sun, moon, and the stars. But in the Bible, stars are considered to be angels. I seen dreams years ago where a woman said she was out in the field and she said what she thought was stars up there were actually angels, and they came down and they snatched everybody off Earth. And they went into outer space. And every time somebody talks about we were going into outer space, they never finish how we got to the throne. Three-eye atlas, ladies and gentlemen. His name, Act of God, and Elah, E-L-A-H. That's the number code for three-eye atlas. In 2017, there was a Revelation 12 sign seen. It was Omawi. Now, however you want to pronounce it. When you look that name up, it meant Yahshua. And it took the same path, but it was smaller. And it's going to go out the same way that God is going to go out. That's what the name of this is called, God. Three-eye atlas. So, September 23rd to October 10th is 2 weeks. In the scriptures, I've told you that an hour in heaven is 2 months down here. Because every 30 minutes, Christ opened up a seal. But on earth, it was 30 days. The scriptures even tell us that in Revelation chapter 8. It was a space of a half an hour. So, the Bible talks about that hour all throughout the scriptures, Old and New Testament. Okay? So, our hour could be September 23rd to October the 10th. But I'm not going to disagree and say not Tishri, but the Feast of Trumpets is not out of the realm of possibility because of where we are today, folks. I'm truly feeling this. This is our season. Oh, well, what if it ain't? Well, if it ain't, we still, by faith, believe, dum-dum. We're not going to be pessimistic. Oh, we're not going to. This world ain't got nothing left for us but evil and death and war. It's time to go. And it's time to get right with God. Peace.